What's good, everybody? It's Rod with Powell Group. Today is Thursday, October 22nd. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for joining us for a daily market recap and a trade review on SUNCOR. And thanks for joining us on the pursuit of wealth. So jumping right into it, before we dive into some charts, I do want to highlight some news and events, and there is quite a bit to cover today. So just bear with me as we get into it, and make sure to hit the like and subscribe, tick the bell to be notified on any future updates. So first and foremost, we had some economic data today. We saw that the weekly jobless claims came in lower than expected at 787,000, which was the lowest since the March lows. And it fell by more, continuing claims again fell by more than 1 million. So that was a beat, but there was another contradicting article saying that the claims were down, but it's not all for good reasons. And the number of workers collecting state unemployment insurance fell by more than 1 million people to 8 million during the week ended October 19th. That doesn't mean 1 million people went back to work. By one estimate, about half the decline is due to other factors. They include shifting onto other programs for longer term unemployment and dropping out of the labor force. So can't really judge a book by its cover rate out of the gate. So certainly pays to do your homework. And taking a look at the stimulus update, we also did see that another economic data point that I forgot, we saw that existing home sales jumped 9.5%, but prices are rising too fast as supply remains tight. So just not enough to go around, so to speak. So taking a look at the stimulus update, so we did see some manipulation again today with the headlines. Nancy Pelosi went live and gave a speech basically saying that they wouldn't be meeting if she didn't think that this isn't them just kicking the can down the road and trying to manipulate the market. It's them actually trying to get a deal, and she wouldn't be meeting if that wasn't the case. But she said initially that they were, I don't have the article here, but initially she said that they were getting close to a deal, and it happened right around when SPY was at the 50-day moving average. So I'll just go back on SPY here today. This is the daily chart, so I'll just zoom in a little bit, but you can see here we hit 340, and that's pretty much exactly when Nancy Pelosi went live and said that they were nearing a deal. That headline came out right around 340. The 50-day moving average was at 339. So again, they're just playing games and super manipulated right now. It's almost sickening, but yeah, you just need to play the game or get left in the dust. And so moving on from that, Pelosi cautions that Congress may not pass the bill despite progress. So even if they do reach a deal, it's not guaranteed. So just keep that in mind. We also saw that the White House said that Trump tests negative before the election tonight, before the presidential debate tonight with Biden. So that was interesting to see. And we also have Republicans voting on Amy Coney Barrett's Supreme Court nomination to the full Senate. So keeping an eye on the progress on that as well into the rest of the week and into next week. We did have some earnings today. So we saw that AT&T takes a hit, but revenue beat expectations. So we did have Coca-Cola beat, American Airlines missed, and AT&T beat. So just taking a quick look at those reports. So we saw AT&T here. I'm not going to go over all the numbers. You can see them here. You can read. So Coca-Cola topped estimates, basically saying that restaurants and theaters, all these different entertainment venues opened back up and were positive for the stock and overall revenue. American Airlines reports 2.4 billion net loss in third quarter, cuts cash burn, and we did see that. I think it was Southwest Airlines saying it could take about 10 years for the pre-sickness levels in the travel industry to return to normal. So they don't think it's going to return to normal for about a decade. So that was notable. I will go over some trade reviews today. We did see that Paul Tudor Jones, huge hedge fund guy, said that he likes Bitcoin even more now and that the rally is in the first inning. So that was nice to see that we're getting some headlines on CNBC in crypto. And he also said that he saw a stock pop to start 2021 on stimulus, then pressure later from the Biden tax plan. So that's pretty much all I had. That was a mouthful. So moving on to, we're going to look at some indice overviews, and then we'll do some individual stock analysis. And I will do a review on SUNCOR and a trade that I made today. I'm planning to swing that overnight as well. I also made a couple other trades, which I'll go over, and then we'll just do a quick recap. So taking a look, SPY, QQQ, SMH, IWM, NQ, futures, ES, futures, they were all forming descending daily triangles. So let's bring up the daily chart here. Looks like SPY is closing strong in a 15-minute uptrend, but you can see that we do have descending triangles on the daily here on SPY. So you can see, draw that. I drew it earlier. I'm not sure why that line wasn't there from before, but there you go. So we do have a daily descending triangle, and generally that is a bearish pattern, and we usually break to the downside. So we could go in this pattern for another few days into next week. So we'll monitor whether or not we break above and negate this, or if we see some follow through from this pattern. And like I said, we had it on QQQ. Wasn't as clear on QQQ. We did have a bear break, so essentially broke from that, but forming a bottom wick. Wasn't as clear on QQQ, but I know SMH definitely had a very clear pattern here to be watching. So there would be the roughly the descending triangle. We also had it on ES, NQ, so just bring up the futures charts real quick. And I'll draw that out for you folks. So there you go. There's your descending triangle there. NQ. Let's take a look at NQ. Where's NQ? There it is. Draw that out here. And we would draw it right around there. So we did have a fake out there and a bear break, but bulls closing, buying the dip, and trying to save that from being confirmed. So right now, still going within that pattern. So definitely something I'm watching and found very, very interesting going into the end of the day and into the rest of the week. Gold still in its weekly. So we did pull back significantly. We saw that Russia and Iran were potentially manipulating with the US election. So in my opinion, I think that's why the dollar went up and we saw gold pull back. But regardless of what the headlines are, the reason why we pulled back is because of this descending triangle on the weekly, and we're still respecting that. You can see we topped out perfectly at that line, and now we're just looking to form a daily higher low and continue that daily uptrend. And one thing I want to mention on SPY as well, just get rid of these lines here. You can see we did form a daily downtrend, so low, high, lower low, and that's a downtrend. Same with QQQ, high, low, lower high, lower low, downtrend, but no real follow through. So I mentioned this before, but we could potentially still see weekly bull flags here on QQQ and SPY. So let's just do a quick Fibonacci retracement on this. So you can see we're holding the 3-2 fib. So the possibility of that weekly bear flag is still there, or bull flag, sorry. Same with QQQ, but we did lose the daily uptrend and we confirmed a downtrend. So that could mean that our weekly lower high is now set. And now we'll look for a daily, weekly higher low into the rest of the week and into the election. We do have EMA support as well at 336. So keeping that in mind, but we'll be confident that the weekly higher low is set once we change the daily trend bullish again. So again, watching that descending triangle there on SPY and most of the broader indices. So moving on from that, that's pretty much all I wanted to highlight. US oil was seeing a bit of a bounce today. We did have the dollar bouncing as well. We had 4 days with a lower high every single candle. We're still a lower high within that pattern. So yes, we did see about a dollar bounce, and we are in an hourly uptrend. So you can see here we had a higher low, higher high, higher low, new higher low established at 92.61. So that's the most important. We did have another one here as well, a mini higher low at 92.79. So I could consider that a higher low, most important short-term support, and then would look down here to the 92.61 level. But we could potentially be forming a bit of a ascending triangle here on the dollar, which would look a little bit like that. So we'll see if we break out to the upside. I still have some short positions on SPY and QQQ. I'm long MJ. I picked up an SUNCOR ENERGY position today and an AC position. So Air Canada, I didn't add a whole lot to Air Canada, but I did go pretty heavy on SU because I saw a setup that I liked. And I also bought some more CGC. So we'll review those now. So we'll just do a quick MJ check-in because I did see that US MJ Truly was up over 6% today. Let's just take a look. HARV down 18%. Not sure if there was news there. Maybe let me know in the comments if you know of any Harvest Health and Recreation news, or if it's just consolidating, but down 18%. That definitely seems like there'd be some news driving that. We have few other names up over double digits, basically your tier 3, lower tier names. But as for the most part, we have the leader in the US space, in my opinion, which is Trulieve, up about 6% today. I did take a position in Trulieve around the $25 and $27 level and sitting comfortably on that position as we are approaching all-time high, currently at $31 and closing near the high of the day, forming a bit of a ascending triangle here on the 5-minute as well. But as you can see, we are not far away from the all-time high, which is at $35.08. So could potentially be forming a cup and handle. We'll see how far the bulls can get and if we can get any hype into the election. And again, the more we run into the election and the chances of Biden winning, the more that it'll be a sell the news event, in my opinion. So if we run hard into the election, I'll look to trim before the results come out. Again, we got about a minute left in the trading day as well, which we'll check in on SPY in just a second. But keep in mind that we could run up a lot longer than a week and a half, right? The election is less than 2 weeks away. Don't think that we're just going to run for only a week and a half, because it's going to take a while for those votes to be counted due to mail-in ballots. So it could be the 10th or the 17th by the time, maybe sooner, who knows. But just be prepared for an overshoot and a potential sell the news even after the November 3rd date has passed. So that's what I'm going to be eyeing. Again, if we run hard into the election, I'll look to trim and at least take some profits. If we consolidate, it might be a buy the news type of event. So just keeping that in mind. Taking a look at Canadian MJ, so CGC, we just closed. So it closed at 2029. We are in a daily, you have to call it a 4-hour ascending triangle. You can look at it pretty much any way you want on the daily ascending triangle. Closed with a very bullish candle. We're holding this, let's just go out to the weekly here. And we did have a daily bull flag. That's why I drew those Fibonacci levels. So you can see we held the 0.382 fib, and certainly with a nice close, looks like we could potentially be setting that daily bull flag into the end of the week. But taking a look at the 4-hour chart, so you can see here we have a nice support trend line that we can be following. I entered off of that, off of this barely touching. So we got very, very close. We almost got to EMA 12 support as well. So I entered here after the morning. I do believe we had a double top as well on CGC. Just taking a look at the shorter term time frame. Yes, so to begin the day, we got as high as 2035. We hit 2024. Not quite where we wanted to see the double top occur, but I would consider that a double top nonetheless because of the size of the pullback. Then I entered here around the 1940s once we started to bounce, and knowing that we had that support level nearby, and just looking to get add to my position. And the bulls have been very, very strong. We haven't really seen any news driving this. So I was looking to add more to my position. I added quite a bit up to my position. I sold once we approached the resistance here. And I think I sold around the 2032 level, and I rebought it at 2025. So just rebought a little bit cheaper there. And like I said, closed the day very, very strong. Let's take a look at the 5-minute. Solid 5-minute uptrend. You can see here with higher lows and higher highs, and very, very strong close to the day for the CGC bulls. So we'll look to continue that uptrend tomorrow and see if we can get that confirmation of the daily bull flag. So taking a look at APHA and Hexo, I did take another position in those as well. Actually, there wasn't really much to report on those. Just looking for some more hype, and due to the size of the pullback in APHA, I did want to add some more to that position, and with everything else running, I think it could be a laggard play. And Hexo, I think, is a solid play. Again, we have Hexo and Canopy earnings coming up as well. Afria disappointed, ACB disappointed, so I'm expecting Hexo and CGC to have gained a little bit of that market share that Aurora and Afria alluded to losing. So that's why I entered those trades. But like I said, there wasn't really much to report there. I did enter Oxley as well. So I sold Oxley. I entered Oxley on the daily trend chains around 13 cents, looking for that daily trend change. And I knew that we were getting close to the 200-day moving average, which was at around 35 cents. So I sold at I think it was 32 or 33 cents. I can't remember exactly now. Maybe it was 29, but I did a video. You can check out my Oxley video. But I just rebought it today because of how bearish the candle close was yesterday. We closed below the EMA 12, and because of how bearish it was, I held off on re-entering. And today I re-entered at 20 cents. So we did hit a low of 19 cents today. I did enter at 20. You can see we formed a hammer with a lower wick and decreasing volume there on the sell side. So with that lower wick, we can definitely see that there was a lot of buying as well, and re-added to that position, basically about a third of the position of what I had before, just using some of those profits. So that was my trade entry on Oxley, and I'll look to hold that for a while as well. Taking a look at SU, so SUNCOR. Again, the title of the video was a trade review on SUNCOR that I made. So we did pull back to begin the day, and we hit a low of 1130. So in my previous videos for SUNCOR, you can check out my channel, just search SUNCOR Power Group, and you'll see that I said that entering off 1111 support would be a play that I would like to take. We also had another support level on the daily. Let's just take a look. So we had 1111, and we had, it was 1020. Yeah, I think it was 10. So 1020 was the next support level. So we got as low as 1130, and that's what had my attention. I was looking for a playoff 1111 support on the daily, and just zooming in, I was looking at the higher low here on the 15 minutes. So I entered on this 15-minute higher low, looking for a 15-minute bull flag. We got it and set my stop below, and just basically rided that EMA 12 all the way into the end of the day. Closed near the high of the day, which was a very, very bullish close. Look at that candle that's engulfing the previous day. So a very, very strong close for SU. And again, just in a solid 15-minute uptrend into the end of the day, and up almost 10% today. So from the low, up about a little over 8%. So solid gains on that one. It is a smaller position. I was looking to add more to it if we dropped. So I was going to scale in a few orders and play off of support. I probably won't hold this for the long term. We'll see, but just taking it day by day right now, and definitely sitting comfortably as I'm up almost about $1 on that entry. So congrats to the bulls on SUNCOR. And I did see that Warren Buffett has two of his major holdings, and one of them is in SUNCOR on the TSX. So definitely worth noting that that analysts are basically expecting about an 80 to 90% upside over the next year. Whether or not I believe that is a different story with the way things are going in terms of renewable energy and solar, that type of thing. So it's really going to depend on the innovation that they're going to be able to create, and just all these different moats that they can use to stand out from the competition. So that was my SU trade review, I did enter AC position as well. So Air Canada, I bought Air Canada this morning. I did enter it here on this hourly pullback. So you can see that we hit a low here of 1643 and 1615. I was looking for an hourly bull flag and we got it. So again, bull flags were my friend today, and we had increasing bull volume as well. And Boeing, I think, was up quite a bit, 3% today as well. So nice to see that the airlines are recovering. And I did see that the Canadian government, so the feds, were looking at quote unquote all options for the airline industry. So we'll see if there's any development there and any aid from the feds in relation to that. But taking a look on the 15-minute chart, in a couple of three inside bars there that broke bull and closed near the high of the day. Also forming a ascending triangle, a lot of ascending triangles and triangles in general today. But you can see we're in a 15-minute uptrend. Taking a look at the hourly, again, we had that hourly bull flag confirm, and bulls are in full control of that chart as well. So in summary, we have the debate tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern, which is the final debate. Thankfully, they're going to be muted. Absolutely awesome. I'll be tuning in for that. So check tomorrow's daily market recap for an update on my thoughts on the debate. And absolutely just sickening that they continue to use this stimulus, and it reminds me of the China trade war and all these other things that they always just keep recirculating. And today, as SPY was going down to the 50-day moving average, that article came out right at the exact same time, and that's when we set the low of the day into a solid bounce. And then they come out saying, don't get your hopes up. It might not even get through Congress. So it's just neither here nor there. And personally, I'm just tuning it all out completely and following the charts. We do have earnings as well that are continuing into tonight. So we do have, tonight we have Intel after the bell. We have Sam Adams, Capital One. Not really anything I'm too interested in. Intel, like I said, lost Apple as a customer. So I expect their sales to be down a little bit and revenue in general. American Express tomorrow before the bell. But let's just take a look at Intel. See if we have any, bearish. Exactly what I thought. So, man, that would have been a good short. Down 11% after hours. Wow. So that played out perfectly, and yeah, that didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that that was probably going to be a bad review or a bad earnings report because of the loss of Apple as a customer. So certainly impacting the stock. Hope you found this information valuable today. That's it for today's video. Thanks again for joining us for a daily market recap. It's Rod with Powell Group. Consider liking the video, show me some support. Consider subscribing, tick the little bell. You'll be notified when I go live tomorrow and thereafter. Have a great night, everyone, and take care.